Good morning, everybody. So first of all, I want to say I sent out everybody an email with my new web address, shelleyschindleryoga.com. I hope you'll share it with others so that we can keep our group supported and together and just bring more people in. If they're not so sure, invite them to have their first class for free. So let's do this. All right, sit up nice and tall. Let's just roll your shoulders up and down your back. And up and down your back, lift your heart. Take a breath. So close your eyes and start to listen to your breath. So recently, I've come into contact with two very dear friends who have had to stand up for themselves and they weren't sure exactly how to do it. And there is a little sutra that I learned a long time ago that is so valuable today. Something you want to put in your toolbox. And it goes like this. Be honest, be brief, be gone. So if you say something difficult, like, no, I'm not going to take you to the airport, or no, this is beyond what I'm willing to do. You say it in a kind way, in as few words as possible. And that's the brief part. You be honest, because then you don't have to have a good memory. And then be gone. That means full stop. Done. Doesn't mean you have to run away or hang up the phone. It just means full stop. End of discussion. Be honest, be brief, be gone. So as you start to deepen your breath, notice if there's any tension in your head, your neck, your shoulders. Some of us, I don't, but some people grind their teeth, and so you'll feel tense in their cheek muscles and in their TMJ joint here. See if you can be sure that your teeth are not occluded. Inhale, lengthen the sides of your body long. Exhale, release. Until you find a rhythm of your breath, a commitment to being here now, to really noticing where you're holding your muscles a little too tight. And then slowly open your eyes. Circle your arms all the way up, and then you're going to tap your shoulders with your fingertips. And you're going to lift your wrists so that they go behind you, like your wrists trying to come toward you. You're going to look down, and then you're going to roll your wrists, your elbows back, and up and back. Start warming up those shoulders, back. You know, I'm always making sure they're aligned because those are the muscles that are going to be loose and long. You never want to have a rounded spine. You inhale your wrists toward each other and roll your shoulders back and lift and circle, lift, and circle back, lift, and circle back. And now we're going to change directions. We're going to circle back, take the wrists toward each other and forward, and open and close, and to see where it feels, what it feels. Keep taking a big full breath, using this opportunity to really breathe, really nice and deep. And take two more just like that. Oh, yummy. And release. Good. Lift your shoulders up and then roll them down your back. Now sitting, if you're sitting on the floor, I want your right shin forward. Okay? Inhale and circle your arms all the way up, and you're going to cross your right wrist in front of your left. Then you're going to flip your wrists and maybe interlace your fingers and extend your arms nice and long. Now, you want to extend them long, but they're not going to be straight. You're going to roll your outer arm bones back and make sure your shoulder blades are down your back. And then you extend your arms as long as you can. And you're going to take a few breaths here. Make sure your ears are in line with your shoulders. I don't want any dipped heads, right? And you breathe nice and tall, long, lengthening the sides of your body a little bit here. Now you're going to pull your elbows down and extend them up. Okay. Exhale, pull them down. Make sure your shoulder blades stay down your back. You don't start to shrug your shoulders. Keep your elbows back and wide and all the way up. Good. You can feel it in your muscles too, of course. All the way up. Good. Down. And all the way back up. Taking a breath. Now releasing your hands, taking your palms toward each other. You're going to twist to your right, but I want you to take your knuckles of your left hand just outside your right knee. And then you're going to take your right fingerprints behind you, lifting up tall and taking a nice twist here. So first you're going to look over at your right shoulder. So look back over your right shoulder. Make sure your right fingertips are on the earth so that your right shoulder is not dumped. Good. Good. Take a few breaths here, belly back. Good. Now look to center so that you're looking straight ahead. And then you're going to dip your left ear towards your left shoulder. But I don't want you to lift your shoulder up towards your ear. The left shoulder stays down, but the left ear, your left ear wants to reach toward the shoulder, and you're going to get a big stretch toward your right shoulder and breathe right into it. This gets into your shoulders and your neck, and you breathe into it so the foundation is nice and connected. Oh yeah, this should feel like really good. With every exhale, you might feel a little bit more release in your right shoulder and the right side of your neck. Now you're going to look down towards your left shoulder and get a nice stretch there in the back of your right neck, side of your neck. Breathe right into that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And all the way back up. Yeah. Now I'm going to circle your arms all the way up. I still have my right shin in front. And I'm going to take my right hand towards the earth and reach it all the way over to the right. You've done this before. Let's do a few like that. Inhale back to center, squeezing the sides of your body. So I want you to feel your left hip really reach towards the earth. And then inhale. So we're doing that first, right? And then exhale all the way over. And we're going to stay here just for a breath or two. Now, if your right forearm doesn't come to the earth, you can't keep your right elbow higher, obviously. You can take your right forearm onto a block. That works. Just find your view so that your chest is forward and take a nice full breath here. So your head is not dumped. You're going to keep your head slightly lifted. Now, I want you to look up towards your left arm and get a nice stretch again, starting to feel in the left side of your neck. Looking up, looking up, looking up. And take a few breaths here. Just look up. And as you come up, you're going to come up a little bit at a time. You're going to come all the way up to center and take your left hand just above your right ear. And you're going to reach your left ear toward your left shoulder, but you're not going to pull it down with your right hand. You're going to just give yourself a nice little stretch here in the right side of your shoulder, once again, in your neck. But you're going to reach your right head up, so there's a little resistance there with a few breaths. Keep the shoulder blades down your back. Take another breath. Keep the resistance of your head up. And then release the resistance. And then once again, lift your head into your fingertips And you're going to breathe a couple breaths here. Good. And release all the way up and come to seated. And notice how that feels. Does it feel good? Okay, so now we're going to change sides. Take your left shin in front of you. Inhale, circle your arms all the way up. And first, we're going to get a nice little forward fold here. Just get a nice stretch in your low back, a nice length in the sides of your body. And breathe into it. Exhale into it, releasing your low back. Inhale slightly out of it. There's a little pulse here. And then exhale into it. And inhale out of it. And exhale into it. Take another breath here. And then slowly come all the way back up. Inhale, circle your arms up. So your left shin is in front, your left wrist is in front, crossing your wrists, flipping your palms, interlace your fingers, and your candle. So your outer elbows reach back, your shoulder blades are down your back, but you're extending your arms long. So the shoulder blades melting down go in the opposite direction as your arms reaching up. Imagine that's the flame of the candle. Elbows back, big full breath. Get a full effort. There's nowhere to rush to, right? Now, you're going to pull your elbows down and extend them all the way up. And pull them down. Shoulder blades stay down your back and extend all the way up. And pull them down. And all the way up. And two more. Exhale. And inhale. A big full breath. Full stop, right? Inhale. It is brief, right? And all the way back up, up, up. Good. Now you're going to release your arms. Take your right hand, and you're going to take your knuckles of your right hand outside your left knee. You're going to take your left fingertips behind you, sitting up tall. You're going to use the back of your right hand, resist it back to sit up tall, and you're going to look back and over your left shoulder and take a few breaths there with your shoulder blades down your back, right? Now that should feel pretty good. So you feel the stretch now in your right shoulder. Good. But now you're going to look straight ahead so that your gaze is in the same direction of your chest. And you're going to reach your right ear towards your right shoulder. But you're not going to lift your shoulder up. You want the shoulder to stay down. You're just going to reach your right ear as if it wants to tap your right shoulder. And get a huge stretch in the left shoulder. And breathe into it. Nice and full. Notice, you can even close your eyes and notice the tightness. And say, I'm going to let that go. Now lift your head just enough to be able to look down. You're going to look down towards your right shoulder and get a little bit deeper stretch in the left. Breathe into it nice and long, nice and deep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then all the way back up to center. Good. Inhale, circle your arms all the way up. Take your left hand to the side and reach over and just see where you get. Make sure your right outer hip stays grounded and just get a nice side bend. Your chest is forward. And then we're going to come up just and feel your right elbow behind you. Oh. And then back over to the left. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Now you're going to exhale all the way over to the left and just be there for a few breaths. So the right outer hip really reaches to the earth. You're going to really make sure your chest is open. Your left forearm might be up off the earth. It does not matter. It depends on where your side bend is. Your best side bend. It's about alignment, right? It's not a competition. Now you're going to look up to your right arm bone and get a nice stretch here. Take a breath. And then you're going to come all the way up. And you're going to take your right hand just above your left ear. And you're going to tip your right ear towards your right shoulder. My left fingerprints are on the floor, on the earth. Now, I'm not pressing my hand down, but I'm lifting my head up into my fingertips to get a big stretch. And we're going to do that a few times. And we're going to take a few breaths here. And release the tension, just release. We're going to take a breath, and now one more time. Press your head up into your fingertips and take 3 big full breaths. Big inhale. Big exhale. Last one. And all the way back up. Oh, yeah. And let's just roll your head right and left. Notice if there's any more tension there. And just let it go, let it go. Good. All right. Inhale, circle your arms up one last time, and then we're going to fold forward, getting one more last stretch in our low back. And let's get more into a deeper practice. Go lower down our back anyway. And then all the way back to center and right into table pose, hands and knees. Yeah. All right, so make sure your hands are below your wrists. Your knees are below your hips. And make your way to some cats and cows. Inhale, oh, and exhale. Again, notice the work we've done in our upper back, and our shoulders and our neck. And just notice if it feels different in the practice. Exhale. And inhale. So Mondays and Tuesdays, I want to get the steam out of everything we've done all weekend. So you're going to make your way into table and extend your right leg back behind you, your left arm forward, keeping the shoulder blades hugged together and down your back, right? Take a nice, just a nice balance here, lifting your belly. And if you want, you can take your elbow towards your knee towards your elbow, really squeeze and extend nice and long. And squeeze right into the core. Oh, and nice and long. Now, if you keep your left hand on the earth and just squeeze your right knee in towards your chest, you're getting right into those hip flexors. It doesn't matter. So your left hand can be extended or on the earth. Just take one more, just like that. Back to center. And then I want you to bend your right knee like you're kicking your right bum. You can take your left hand towards your right foot, or you can bind and just get a nice stretch in that right quad. Lift the thigh bone a little higher. Reach your heart forward. Full breath here. Yes. Knowing your boundary is really important. We learn that with every pose, right? And then back to center. Make your way through table as you extend your right leg directly out to the right. And then you're going to spin your right toes out to the right. Take your right thigh bone back and come all the way up. And then deep into the right hip. Oh, and back to center. And exhale. And back to center. And let's just feel where we get. And back to center. And you know where we go from here. And back to center, extending your right leg forward, flexing your front right ankle. You can take your hands to blocks or to the earth. Just get a nice stretch in those hamstrings that get so tight with everything we do. Exhale into it. Inhale slightly out. Exhale. Inhale. Every moment's so brief anyway, isn't it? Then step into your right foot and come forward. So you don't want your right knee much past your right ankle, right? And then you're going to come all the way back, Exhale and inhale. You can extend your arms up and exhale. You can take your arms back. You can take your arms up on the inhale. Notice if you have a little bit more movement, a little more, freedom in your shoulders and your neck. Might. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Come back to center. Take your left hand to the earth and come into a nice deep twist, really reaching back, opening your heart. Big inhale. Exhale your right hand to the earth and soften your elbows. And inhale, open it up. And exhale and soften. And open. And soften. Feel at that edge when you get into that exhale. I want you to feel right into your hips. Last one to open it up. Exhale and soften right into it. Then take your hands to the earth and make your way all the way into down dog. And walk your dog. Really get into it. Reach your shoulder blades down your back. Lift your belly. Come onto your tiptoes, lifting the pelvic floor. With the energy comes from your inner feet, all the way up your inner thighs, all the way to the belly. And then reach your heels toward the floor. They might not land. And you know what that means? It means nothing, right? Inhale, last one. Exhale. And then lower your knees. Let's come into a child pose. Knees wide, big toes together. Taking your hips back and just taking inventory. How you feeling, right? Breathe into it. Oh yeah. And all the way back to center and back to table. Now you're going to extend your left leg back and perhaps your right arm forward. So we're starting to get a little balance here, which is so important for our brains, but this is also for your paraspinal muscles. And your right hand can be up or down. And as you exhale, you're going to squeeze your elbow to your knee and inhale, extend. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, extend. And just continue just like that, real mindful. Exhale. Inhale. Oh, yeah. Full effort, whatever it looks like for you. So your full effort might be with your right hand on the floor. And that's fine. Take one more just like that. All the way to the balance. Bend your left knee like you're kicking your left bum. Take your right hand and reach it toward your left foot, or you can bind and just find that deepest quad stretch that you have. It's in you. You can lift the thigh bone up whether you're bound or not. You're going to breathe into it whether you're bound or not, right? And all the way back to the balance. And back through table. Extending your left leg out to the left. Spinning your left toes out to the left, keeping the left thigh bone back as you come all the way up. And your heart is open. And you're going to come into your left hip and all the way back to center. Inhale. Exhale into it. Inhale out of it. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Good. Take a few more. Oh, just like that. Inhale. Yeah, you know, we hold stuff in our hips. All the way back to center. Now you're going to extend your left leg in front of you, flexing your front left ankle. Reach your heart forward. Take your hands to blocks or to the floor. It doesn't matter. Take the left outer hip back and just soften into it, getting a huge stretch in the left hamstring. So exhale into it. Reach the ball of your left foot forward so that there's no sickled ankle. Take one more exhale. Oh, yeah. Then step into your left foot and come forward, and your hands can be on the earth or you can lift them up. And then find your way back, hands to the earth, and reach. Your range of motion might be a little bit fuller because of what we did for our neck and shoulders. It's so good. Inhale and exhale. Yeah, this is going to help us seize the day, right? Inhale and exhale. Let's take one more just like that and get a little tippy here. Inhale and exhale. Then step into your left foot. Take your right hand to the earth. Open it all the way up. Get a big twist, keeping the left outer hip back. Lean back. Inhale. Then take your left hand to the earth and soften your forearms towards the earth. And we're going to take a few breaths here as you open all the way, finding your boundary, and then exhale back. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Oh, yeah. And then make your way through table and back into down dog, taking your hips back. Oh, yeah. Now you're going to walk your dog and then walk your hands to your feet, maybe your feet to your hands, getting into a lovely forward fold. Press the balls of the big toes into the earth. Lift and spread your toes so you're rooting down and the toes are going to rise up and spread. Now take your toes back to the earth, belly lifted. Step your feet to the earth, come all the way up. Inhale. Grab your left wrist and lift. Exhale to the right. Oh, yeah. Inhale back to center. Grab your right wrist and lift. Exhale to the left. And inhale all the way back to center. Now we're going to do something that's supremely weird, but this is really accepted all over the place for your brain stimulation. You're going to take your right hand and you're going to pinch your left earlobe with your thumb and your first finger. Give it a little pinch across your chest. Now you're going to take your left hand to your right earlobe and pinch your right earlobe. And you're going to give it a little tug. So as you exhale, you're going to sit back and tug your earlobe down just a little bit, and then inhale, release it up. Exhale, tug it down, sit back, and all the way up. This is something you should do every day. They're doing this in schools too, for the kids to be able to focus. It's helpful. So you're just going to tug your earlobe on the way down. Exhale. 4, 3. Give it a little tug. You should do this every day. 2, And anybody who eats Skittles and Starburst, you might want to encourage them to do this. Maybe they will make better choices. Okay, and all the way up. And release. All right. Now you're going to widen your toes, widen your feet, take your toes out, and make sure your knees are threaded over your second toe. So there's no knees in. Okay, knees are wide. Got that? Good. So you're going to come onto the tiptoes of your right foot first. I want you to just release your hips and release it a little deeper. And release it a little deeper. Good. Good. Now on the left, just notice how that feels. Again, this is about being aware. We want to be honest. How does it really feel? What works for us, right? Now you're going to go right and left, right? And you'll get a little lower in your hips, left and right and left. Now come onto your tiptoes of both feet and just stay low. Maybe a little lower. All the way up. All right. Now you're going to take your right elbow back. Shoulder blades down your back. You know what to do, right? And then you're going to sit back and reach towards the left. So your hips should go a little lower. And then come back up, squeezing the glutes and the pelvic floor. Exhale. And inhale. Keep your right elbow high. Exhale. So our shoulders and our neck are like a blank slate. And we're creating now an intention to stay tall, to know our boundaries, and then know how to express them honestly. Exhale. Be honest, right? Exhale. Be brief, as few words as possible. Exhale. Be gone, full stop. One more. Exhale and inhale and release. Ooh, yeah. Other side, left side. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Inhale, open. Exhale, reach. Inhale. Good. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And inhale. And 4. Squeeze your glutes when you get up there. 3. Good. 2. Yeah. So now we're aligned. Good. Step your feet together and notice how tall you're standing. Yeah, nice long spine. Taller than you thought you could be. Good. Inhale, circle your arms all the way up. Exhale and fold forward. Inhale, look halfway up, reaching your heart forward and your inner thigh bones back. Get that stretch. Notice it with the belly lifted. And then step all the way to plank with your knees either up or down. Lift your belly. Oh, I love this. Especially when your shoulders are nice and warmed up, right? And then lower all the way onto the earth. Now, you're going to stretch your chest forward, slide your heart forward, take your hands slightly back, and I want you to lift your palms up. So we're again in our upper back. Roll your shoulder blades down your back, lift your heart, lift your palms. Take a breath or two, get into your core. Press your pubic bone to the earth. Get a little taller. Take a breath and then lower. Now take your hands to the earth and make your way into a cobra. Oh yeah. And all the way back down. Notice how it feels in your neck and shoulders. Oh yeah. And now getting into your core. And this is most excellent for your low back. Inhale. Oh yeah. And exhale. Last one. Inhale all the way back up. Curl your toes under. Lift your knees and make your way right into a down dog. Oh yeah. Walk your dog. Again, connect with your breath. Inhale, lift your right leg up behind you, bend your right knee, open your right hip. So this is kind of from last week. We want to open our hips. Then extend your right leg back, come onto the tiptoes of your left foot. This is going to be very helpful. Gives you some more space to draw your right knee towards your nose, and then step your right foot forward, preparing for warrior one. Press your feet down to come all the way up. All right, so we're going to use all of our parts. Got it? And now we're going to dip forward. Imagine you're going to take off, because we are going to take off today. Exhale, heart forward. Inhale up. Now we're going to take off. You're going to take your arms back, step into your right foot, look at something that's not moving, and notice if between your core and your upper body, you can just find a little balance here. I'm going to come this way. Look at something that's not moving. Good, this is just the first one. And then all the way into warrior two. So yeah, you don't have to move all around your mat. Make sure your right knee does not go past your right ankle. So it's a pretty long length. Exhale and inhale. And exhale and inhale. Roll your arms with your thumbs down and roll it up. Inhale. Exhale. Don't lean forward. Stay nice and tall and open it up. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale, roll. And inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Good. Now you're going to come deep into warrior two. Take your right forearm to your right thigh. Pressing your forearm down, you're going to lift your right waist and roll your right waist forward. Stay low in your hips. And then find place for your left arm. So it doesn't necessarily have to swim over your ear. You can extend it. Or keep it out to the left, or take your left hand to your left hip. Everyone's shoulders are different, right? Stay low in your hips. Press the forearm down. Now you're going to take your bum back and make your way into a triangle pose as you slowly lengthen your legs and get into a nice deep triangle. And breathe into it. Oh, yeah. Take your left hand to the earth. Now I want you to shorten and widen your stance and start to square your hips to the front edge of your mat. So the right outer hip is going to draw back. Your left inner thigh is going to draw back. Then you can press your feet down and come up because your hip points are square and your feet are wide. You have a nice connection. Now take your hands behind your back. So either interlace your fingers, grab your opposite elbow, or you can come into secret prayer. And your shoulders might allow it today. I don't know. You'll see. All those are good options. And you're going to take the right outer hip back as you fold into it and get a nice deep stretch here. Keeping your feet grounded, your belly lifted, your legs long. And you breathe into it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Press your feet down to come all the way up, releasing your arms and step forward to the front of your mat. Yeah, let's take some hip circles here. Yeah, so delicious. So we have to do the left side. I did not forget. Hardly. But we're going to stand up tall and notice how we feel. You can feel, you can find your gavura, your boundary here. And how are you going to defend it? Defend it with our heart, with honesty, with kind words, brief, full stop, right? All right. Utkatasana, fierce warrior, sit back. So we already kind of did this, but I want you to come all the way up. And I want you to sit back into a full sitting back, inhale. Keeping your arms up, you're going to come into Utkatasana, fierce warrior. Twist to your right, however you do. You can stay upright, you know what to do. Open your heart. Oh, yeah. Inhale back to center. And twist to your left. Opening it up. Keeping your outer hips, your right outer hip back, your knees parallel. Oh, yeah. Inhale back to center. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look halfway up. Exhale, we've been here. Step back to plank, right? So you can lower, or you can come right into down dog. Make your way into a cobra or an up dog. Oh, yeah. And right into down dog. Okay. Inhale, lift your left leg up behind you. Come onto the tiptoes of your left foot. Really lift the belly. And then take your left knee towards your chest, rounding your back. And step your left foot forward, preparing for warrior one. And then coming all the way up into warrior one on the left. Good. Got that? Yeah. Now you're going to tip forward, arms back. So if you want to stay right here, you can see how this is just as delicious, right? Let's take one more. Like we're going to take off, as you know, we are going to take off. Then you're going to tip forward, coming into your left leg. Come into a balance. Let it be a little scary. If you need something to hold on to something. But breathe. Good. And then you're going to come all the way back up and right into warrior two. Got it? Make sure your left thigh bone's out to the left. Spine is nice and long. And you're going to roll your arms up, shoulder blades, and back down. So roll your whole arm. It's not just your hands. It's your arms. This is for your shoulders. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Ooh. Exhale. Take one more. And all the way, take your left forearm to your left thigh. Press the forearm down to lift your left waist. Take your left waist forward and come a little deeper. Good. And then you know what to do with your right arm. You know what to do because it depends on your right shoulder. And you know that there's lots of options here, keeping the left waist engaged. So this is very active. Take a breath. Take another. Then take your hips back, like you're sitting back in a chair. Take your right arm towards the earth to start with, and then you're going to lengthen both your legs long, and before you know it, you are in a triangle pose, which is so good for your hips. Good for your flexibility. Let's take another few breaths here. Good. Then come all the way up. And you're going to widen your stance and pivot your toes to the front of your mat. So my left foot's forward. My feet are on a railroad track, not a trapeze. Good. Take your hands behind your back. It shouldn't be too tippy. Nice. Good. Lengthen both your legs long. Find a place for your hands so you can grab your opposite elbows. You can interlace your fingers. You can come into secret prayer, lifting your palms up, shoulder blades down your back, and then you start to dip forward from the top of the pelvis. So you have a long spine. You fire up the right inner thigh, roll it back. Keep your feet grounded, your belly lifted. And find a few breaths here. Good. Take one more big full breath. Press your feet down to come all the way up and step forward. Oh yeah. All right. So we're going to use those shoulders now. Arms out to T. You're going to take your right arm under your left. You're going to bend your elbows and take your palms toward each other. And you might just lift your elbows and sit back. This is awesome. Keep the elbows lifted, you get a nice stretch in your shoulders here. Now, another option is to step into your left foot and come onto the tiptoes of your right foot, and maybe you lift your right knee. That's awesome. Or you'll cross your right shin in front of your left and sit back. Or you can come into full, look at something that's not moving. You can come into full pose by crossing your thigh bones and sitting back. And if I can do that, I will. Good. And just find that place. Find that place. That place of peace. It's hard to do it looking at you guys. Okay. And all the way up and out. Yeah. Circle your right arm, your left. Your right arm. Oh, yeah. Your left. So what would it be for shoulders, neck if we didn't do this pose? Okay. Arms out. Left arm under your right. Bend your elbows and lift. And you can stay right here. This is awesome. Because really, I'm looking at shoulders and neck today, guys. And then find your way, stepping into your right foot. Maybe you'll come onto the tiptoes of your left, or you'll lift your left knee up. Or maybe you'll cross your thigh bones or your shin. Be creative, sitting back, and find your breath. Find a little peace in it too. Yeah? And all the way up. Roll your shoulder blades. Circle your hips. Good. Standing up tall. Just take one big breath here. Standing in tree pose. Well, Stasana, you're just standing tall. Now you're going to widen your stance just enough to get yourself into your yoga squat, whatever that looks like. It might look like this. It might look like this. I don't know. You'll just decide, right? And you'll come into your yoga squat, whatever it looks like. Maybe it's on a chair. If your heels are up, you want something under your heels. Yep, a blanket, something. And all the way onto your bum. Once again, where we started, but this time we're going to come right into a traditional boat pose. So however you do it, you know to tip your pelvis back, right? And you can come onto your tiptoes. You can take your arms in front of you to the earth. You can just lift your legs a little, a lot. Any step of the way is the pose. So you breathe into it. This is a very classical yoga pose. Every muscle in your body is engaged. Are your toes engaged? Are your legs? Is your belly? Your shoulders are melting down your back, and you're breathing a nice calm breath right into your core. Traditionally, we stay here for 5 breaths. Ooh, I'm getting the shakes. And come all the way back to center. I'm going to cross my right shin in front of me, sitting up tall, and just getting a nice little forward fold, just a little bit, just to get a nice release and go back. And take a few breaths here. And then slowly all the way back up. So this time we're going to do what we used to do back in the studio. I used to love this. You're going to cross hook your right ankle over your left and widen your knees. And imagine your feet are pulling apart, but because they're hooked, they can't, and you're going to feel it in your inner thighs. Now you can take your hands to the earth, of course, or you can bend your knees wide, take your arms inside your thigh bones,
Keep that resistance of the ankles pulling apart, yeah? And you can even take your palms together and press your elbows out as the thigh bones hug you. So you have the resistance of the ankles, the resistance of your elbows, and of course, a nice, calm, sweet breath. Good. And release. Oh, good. Good job, guys. All right, so now we're going to draw your knees to your chest. Give yourself a hug. Round your back. And then you're going to roll the top of your pelvis towards the earth, one vertebra at a time, all the way to the earth. Extend your arms up over your head. Take a big full breath. Good. Take your right knee in towards your chest. Give yourself a hug here. You can extend your left leg long if that feels about right. And roll your right ankle. Close your eyes and take some big full breaths, maybe moving your head right and left, noticing the freedom, a little bit more freedom that you might have had. And then we're going to change sides. Carefully, slowly take your left knee in towards your chest. And give yourself a hug and roll your ankle. Closing your eyes, feeling the full extent of your inhale and your exhale. Good. And on your next inhale, you're going to extend your arms up all the way up over your head, your legs nice and long. Now, as you exhale, you're going to take your arms up towards the sky, and one vertebra at a time. You're going to start with your upper back, one vertebra. You're going to take the back of the pelvis back as you come all the way up. And this is not about the forward fold. This is simply about a nice stretch in your low back, your hamstrings. Take a nice exhale. And then as you inhale, it's going to be, again, one vertebra at a time, starting with the back of the pelvis and right into that lumbar spine, thoracic spine, cervical spine, all the way up. Take another inhale when you get there, whatever your there is. Inhale, and then we're going to do that one more time. Exhale, starting now at the top of the spine, one vertebra at a time. Oh, yeah. And then one vertebra at a time, all the way back. Good. Draw your knees towards your chest. I'm going to just slide my bum to the left. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Take your arms to T and drop your knees to the right. Give you a nice last twist, bringing out the old. In Shavasana, our intention gets settled into our unconscious. So we're going to wring out the stuff that came up, like, no, I can't, or any fear, just squeeze it out in this twist. Any fears that come up, they're always in there, guys. Okay? And inhale back to center. Slide your bum to the right, lift your knees, and drop to the left. And take a few breaths here in this delicious twist. Imagine you're breathing out the old and inhaling in the new. And then make your way back to center. Lift your bum, shake your bum. Take the top of your pelvis back once again as you just roll your pelvis to the earth. Take your arms beside you with your palms up, walking your shoulder blades together. Lower your chin so you feel a nice stretch in the back of your neck. Take a huge inhale through your nose. And then slowly exhale through your mouth as you release your legs long and wide of your mat. Oh. And come into Shavasana. Take rest.
Start rolling your wrists and your ankles. Inhale, extend your arms up over your head. Exhale through your mouth. Draw your knees to your chest and roll to your right side. And just be there for a moment. And then make your way to a seat on your mat. Bring your palms together to your heart center. Drawing boundaries can be very difficult. We want to look at what our needs are and really decide if that's what works for us. And when we decide that, now we know we can be honest, we should be brief, and then just be gone. The light in me honors that light in you. Namaste. Mwah. Love you guys. I turn off